Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller. Last we left off with our Camarilla group. We were at Connie's place as they were waking up for the evening. They had a message delivered by Tulip that was for an emergency meeting, and the group took off uh, and discovered they were being followed as they crossed the Willamette River over the bridge into Salem proper from West Salem. But with some good driving from Melvin, they managed to lose their tail and they made it over to the groundskeeper lodge over by the airport. We shifted over to Mustang and Erickson because they were talking to John Colson and a woman that came in with him, who we learned was Gretel Meyer. But that is more important for the Anarchy campaign, so I'm going to glaze over that a little bit. We saw the sheriff get everyone's attention, saw that there was a couple of people that weren't visible in the last Elysium or that haven't been at a few of the Elysiums in the past. He declared that there was a hunter or a set of hunters in the city because they attacked the Lucky Dime Diner and they also attacked the Last Call Bar. Samantha Crushing has also announced that she will no longer be doing business from the bar and that she has handed it over to Erickson Wood to try and fix up. At that point, Erickson and Mustang both were introduced to the court since the majority of the Primogen was gathered. And as Mustang and Manny Garza became acquainted, we shifted over to Connie, who approached Anastasia Richards, revealing that Joshua was alive, and then handing over a circlet that he had kind of stored as a symbol of a boon to be repaid at some point. She let her know that the circlet is very valuable, and it's definitely something that would keep them housed and under her watchful eye as long as she stayed in Salem. Melvin had a little moment outside with a gentleman that he just can't remember, but there was a warning. The city beneath the seas is going to make its move. Your friend is in deeper trouble than he believes. This goes beyond Carthage. We shifted back to Mustang and Manny, where we discovered that Manny is one of the more interesting NPCs that she's ever dealt with, but across the board, I think nobody likes him. And so we came back to Connie and Melvin and Albert kind of leaving the Groundskeeper Lodge restaurant and heading back towards the bar district to kind of pick up where they had left off their investigation. And this is where we're going to find our pair of characters tonight, because we'll be missing Albert Frost as he's off gallivanting somewhere across the world like Carmen Sandiego. But it's good to see you guys again.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
I'm excited.
Hello, everyone.
Excited for this.
I'm getting ready to do nothing
Always.
because I don't remember anything.
Well, it's June 8th right now, and you don't have a meeting with Anastasia until the 18th. So you have the better part of a week kind of do anything destructive to yourselves.
Right. Alright.
Okay.
But as you pull up, even from down the street as you're driving towards the last call, you can see that there's still a police car. Its lights are not flashing, but they are switching back and forth in a slow, rhythmic pattern of red and blue, just as a warning. The bar itself has been roped off. There's police tape all over the place. Across the street, you can see that there's a crane pulling another police car out of the river. Its driver's side front door is missing.
What kind of car, I'm sorry?
It is a police car.
Oh, the police car.
There's a couple of uniforms that are just kind of walking up and down and around the corner where the bar sits. Sometimes they'll go inside, but otherwise they are kind of tending to just keeping people away from what is still an active crime scene. But you pull up a couple of blocks down where you are looking to create your mold. And you will see that there is a van that is currently cleaning up. That outside reads Connor's Cleaning. And there's about 4 guys, one of which is talking to what looks to be a plainclothes detective of some sort. There's a clipboard, there's a kind of checklist that they're going through. What do you guys want to do?
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Seems like that's what Samantha was referring to in being no longer the proprietor of the bar.
Mhm.
Are you as interested in I am to find out what the hell happened in there?
Yes, clearly.
So wait, is that cleaning truck outside of the last call, or is it where we need to go get to do the mold?
No, it is literally outside of the back alley where you were investigating the whole situation before.
Okay.
Oh, so it's like right there.
So we need to like go in there now before we
can't walk
lose
past
our
them
evidence.
without. Yeah, but we can't walk past them, I don't think, unless.
But can't we?
I mean, we can. You know.
Let me try to remember what my abilities are.
I wink at you. I wink at you when you say that. I just got a 6 on my rouse, Will, and I'm gonna obfuscate.
Okay, so you park the car, you get out, and the moment that at least Connie's not looking at you, you can feel that nobody else has their gaze pressed upon you, and you can feel some of the shadows just start to kind of wrap around you, and you can feel that for sure you know that you are using the shadows to your advantage here.
Okay. And I stand there, just waiting to see what she does.
Hmm.
I can tap her as long as I'm quiet. I don't unbreak, right?
Yeah, because you can activate the first level of obfuscate first, and then then activate the second level of obfuscate, one right after the other, as long as they're in sequential turns.
Okay.
But once you have the first one activated, you are pretty much, unless you do something crazy or loud, you are almost guaranteed to stay in obfuscate level 2.
Okay.
I don't quite have obfuscate level 2. I could be quiet, or you know what I could do? I'm gonna rouse myself as well.
Ooh, what are you rousing
So I
for?
can activate silence or silence of death, right? Do I have to rouse for it?
You don't. It's a free
No,
power.
silence.
Oh, it's free. So what I'll do is I'll activate silence of death, and I will sort of act as lookout around the van where the majority of the people will be. So I could decide on have to make any distractions or such.
Okay, so wait, I just thought of something.
Okay.
Something else I could do. I could send Betty D into the alley to talk to Teddy to find out if the coast is clear for us to go in there. Because Teddy's in there. As far as I know,
Oh,
Teddy's
sure.
living in that alley, isn't he, Will?
As far as you know, that's where you've always seen him.
Right. But he was on his way to Chicago. I don't know if he's still there.
Right, he was still healing. But how long has it been since I met with him? Days in time wise, it's been like a couple days.
At the most, yeah.
Okay. He could definitely try that. I mean, she'll be able to move in there pretty freely, assuming there's no dogs or anything like that. Nah, there wouldn't be.
There's just the cats.
With just the cats.
But I mean, I'm already invisible, so I might as well. I'll just start moving.
Okay.
I'll just tap you and like give you a tug, like that I'm moving, so that you know I'm
Okay.
going. Just like a.
Yeah. The plainclothes and one of the older gentlemen that are talking off to the side as you see the other three gentlemen kind of cleaning up the tools that they were using. You can smell the harsh kind of chemicals, the bleach, and you hear the one older gentleman. Like I said, Detective Holtzman, everything has been cleared up here. We didn't find anything that we should have brought to your attention. We had our own checklist, and they kind of snaps his fingers, and one of the other guys, hands him a folded up piece of paper.
How close am I to them?
You're on the other side of the van. You're at the
Okay,
front. You're at the front of the van, and they're at the back of the van.
Okay, I'm gonna move so I can see if I can read the note.
Okay. Yeah, you see that there is just a list of things that need to be cleaned up. Blood spatter, what might be viscera, what might be things that could endanger people if ingested or touched. And as you come around, you see that the entire alley has been scrubbed. Everything looks like it's been neatly cleaned up. The trash cans are no longer just kind of strewn about. They're actually like up against the wall towards the businesses that they belong to. There's a kind of bike chain, one of those kind of metallic cords, the woven, what's it called? Kind of rubber covered.
A hose?
Not a hose, but it's just a chain like thing that has kept the trash cans attached to each other and to whatever business they belong to.
Oh, I see.
So it's
Okay.
kind of like an anti-theft device.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you don't see the blood spatter. You don't see the footprint at all. But you do see that they're just kind of like packing everything up. Two of the guys are already kind of sitting inside the truck. One of them is smoking. The other one is just kind of looking over what looks to be just this folded note, like something torn out of like a small pad of paper.
I kind of want to go inside and see what the hell is left inside of there.
Of the alley?
No, of the bar.
Oh, so you're gonna go down the street?
I'm debating, but okay. So the guy. Okay, so just so I have an idea. So right outside the alley's this van. This is what the guy's saying that they had to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy's sitting in there smoking, and that list that's folded up is not the list I saw.
No.
That's another paper.
Yeah, it looks like a different paper.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fourth guy has just kind of put away one of the power washers, and he kind of nods at the two in there. They give him a courtesy nod as well. He closes the two doors in the back, and then he kind of pats the older gentleman on the shoulder, and then he goes over and sits in the driver's seat. But the older gentleman and the investigator have finished up what they're doing. Excuse me. And the investigator just kind of nods at him. All right, Mr. Cody. I guess we're done here. Good work. As always, you know where to send the bill to. And, I can't complain. You and your crew have been cleaning up my crime scenes for the last year and a half. And I normally am not a man to be bewildered, but the way you clean up bewilders me. And the older gentleman kind of smiles. Just taking pride in your work. Just gotta let the kids know that slow is fast and fast is slow.
Okay.
There's a nod, they shake hands, and the old man gets into the passenger seat of the truck. Truck engine turns on. They start to drive away unless you do something, but the investigator will start making his way down towards the bar.
Can we take down the driver's license?
The license plate of the truck?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You have that information.
Okay. We have tag.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna write there.
At the expense of not coming up with a sequence of letters and numbers, because that might be somebody's real tag, I'm just going to say that you have it.
Okay. Thanks.
I was waiting for some vanity plate that he was gonna do, like bite me or something. Like they're vamps. No,
it's a cleaning van. Clearly, you'd be like,
oh, it's a cleaning van.
CLN.
yeah.
Squeaky
Clean for you. Clean for you.
Yeah, CLN, the number 4 and the letter U.
Oh, God.
Okay, so out of character, Ash, I have a couple of things I want to do.
Okay. What's up?
I'm going to make a call to my police contact to find out who the hell this cleaning company is and if they've actually been using it and who this Detective Holtzman is. And if there's anything shady about him. Also find out what happened in the bar without having to risk us going in there.
Well, of the two of us, only you could really get away with going into the bar without anybody seeing you. I mean, well, there's no point in going into the alley now.
Right. The other thing I was going to say is, do we want to follow the truck?
I would like to. I don't want to follow the truck at this. That's why I took down the tag. But we have to keep in mind that whoever's in that truck has this note, and that note might be important. And if they take the truck back to the cleaning people spot, like, we don't know who's in the truck. We don't know where they live. So a part of me wants to sort of stalk them and see if they like go home, and then like
I think I can get the information of what happened in the bar. So I think that might be a better course of action for us, is to get in the van and try to follow them.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
So as soon as the detectives are within a good distance, Will, that I see nobody's looking, I'll come out.
Okay.
And I'll be
how close are you to Connie when you do this?
Oh, like I'll probably be like just out of, I can picture it in my head. I'm like right behind her, like that. If there was a camera in front, like you'd see me just appear like a fucking Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Yep.
just
So.
And I'm like, I think we should follow that truck. It looks like I can probably find out some more information about what happened at the bar by other means. And we're fucked with the alleyway.
Yeah.
And I start walking, kind of like, we need to kind of and get in the van if we're going to follow, like kind of that. I'm like, if you think this is a good idea, as I start,
I'll open the door.
It's like, hey, dude, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Are we gonna do? Are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
I think we don't have a choice now. We're in the van.
As the two of you are kind of looking for somebody to give them a better idea than what you're about to do, Albert's head pops up between the two of you in that space.
That's ridiculous. You said a good idea coming from Albert?
I never said
absurd.
that. I'm just saying that he pops up.
That's true. Albert's with us still.
Yeah, let me give you dialogue before you assume that he's gonna give you a better idea.
Well, Albert could go into the. Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
No,
Albert, what's up?
If it's one thing that I know about Albert, I think I have a good beat on how to play him. So he'll just shoot up between the two of you. Melvin.
Jesus Christ. It's like Dwight in The Office when like Angela appears.
Yeah. Someday I'll get that reference. But he just kind of pops up. Melvin, should we go back to your haven so I can get my research?
Oh, that's right, the Atlantis thing.
But like right now, because we really need to follow that man.
I mean,
I mean,
it's just a suggestion.
that's not he's not wrong. I mean, the guy did say he was in trouble, so maybe if it could help him, I was did tell the sheriff I was going to protect you both.
Is my research safe in your haven, Melvin?
I mean, I don't know. You tend to tell everybody my whole history, so is it safe?
All right.
But then what are you gonna do when you actually wait? We could pick up your material and then go. I could go to Joshua's lockbox, the safety deposit box that I still haven't gone to go visit, and maybe I could put all of your research in the safety deposit box
Well, that's a
Mm.
good
so that we
idea.
have a safer place to go.
Is the bank open at this time, Connie?
No, it's not. But we'll have to go sometime in the evening, or we could send malicious.
Her name is
What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa.
She's very nice. She's a
Malicious.
very nice girl, Connie.
It's between Melissa or Michelle. So
Mana Bino.
Melissa Hammond is her name. You know that I haven't really spoken to her since that whole situation with the picture.
We do have a few employees at the diner that might be able to do that for us as well. But then you're giving somebody who we don't necessarily know too well some information.
yeah, I would rather it be a ghoul that we can control and not a ghoul that belongs to another vampire.
Fine, I'll go ghoul somebody. No, I'm just kidding.
I should. I really should at this point. Make me a daytime friend.
I'm very tempted. Actually, I can give it to my contact.
Your cop contact?
Yeah, and just be like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. Can you? She's not a ghoul, but
Do you want to give her the? I'm scared of I don't know what's in that safety deposit box. And I mean, I'm sure your friend is super accountable. But what if there's
I think
something?
though. You know already who I'm talking about. Because I did tell you guys.
Yeah, you shared.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I just when I talk about her, I never say her name, and purposefully I never give details. It's like I didn't say she was a cop, but that's the extent of it. You know, I didn't say what position she was or anything like that. So when I refer to her, I always talk about it like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they know the deal, but I mean, I get where your concern is. Then again, did Joshua have ghouls?
Do I know if he had ghouls, Chewy?
You know that he had a wolf that he did ghoul.
Okay, well, a wolf can't go into the
No.
safety deposit
And
box.
he did talk
either.
about a bear at some point, but
Worse.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a special bank, because if Joshua had access to it, and I don't think a bear was going to go in and open up a safety deposit box for him.
We could check to see if it's a 24-hour bank. It would have to be. I don't see why he would choose a bank that he couldn't access during his waking hours.
I'll start driving Will to the Haven.
Okay.
Now I want to emphasize. I want to make because that's so I don't have to say it over and over every time. After what happened driving to the party, I'm watching my back constantly while I'm driving.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm paranoid now.
Make a wits and awareness roll. See what happens.
Let's see what goes. I have 2 hunger. Yay!
Yay. The more hunger you have, the funner the game becomes.
Not if you're on the other end of Albert. Oh my god.
Touche.
Okay. So on my hunger die, I got a 10, but I did get a 1 on the regular die, and I got a 6 and a 7 on the regular die.
Okay, so 3 successes. In the rear view, you can see Albert kind of looking out the window, shifting from one seat to the other, kind of get a different side of the view of the seat. You've never noticed how fidgety he is. But after a bit, as you cross the river into West Salem, you do notice that the same kind of dull headlights are maybe a couple of car lengths behind you.
Okay.
This doesn't look like the Cadillac, though.
Okay, so I'm not going to go to the Haven, and I say, we've got another tail, 2 cars back. Don't look, Albert. You
Okay.
can't drive, right?
I can drive.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because part of me is wanting to pull over and potentially me just going into obfuscate again in the passenger seat and then confronting them. I was actually thinking about ramming them, but Will said there are 2 cars behind us.
Yeah,
I was going to slam on the brake and go in reverse.
Seatbelt check.
Yeah.
Albert goes flying.
Yeah.
For Atlantis!
Yeah, everything for Atlantis.
For Atlantis.
So
Well,
are there cars behind me though, Will, in between us?
Yeah, there's one car.
Okay.
okay.
So I have an idea.
Mhm.
Swap seats. I'm going to go into obfuscate. I want you at the next red light to just stay there. And if they start honking, you get out of the car, leave the door open, and start pretending to argue with them. I'm going to obfuscate, go towards the other car and see if I can see inside of it and see who's in there.
Good plan.
It's my Miami brain thinking right now.
Yeah. Hey.
You got it. You got it.
So are you gonna switch seats while you're driving, or are you going to pull over and switch seats?
I don't
We probably need to
make
stop at another red light first, switch, and then go to another red light.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And I'm going to tell Albert that when I do go into obfuscate and I do start coming out of the car behind her, for him to go into the passenger seat so it looks like there was a passenger and that they swap seats.
He nods at you.
Okay.
I'll try to do it as stealthily as possible.
Okay. So it's going to fail. Got it. Okay.
But yeah, everybody kind of turns away from you. You manage to turn on your obfuscate again. Make your rouse check.
I just did. I got a 7.
Okay. So you manage to pull the shadows again all around you. You come up to the next red light. It turns green. Connie doesn't move. The first car behind you kind of honks and then drives off to the side. You hear a belligerent kind of yell. There's a honk from the car behind you again, but this one also drives around you.
Okay.
And it just kind of...
Yeah.
I start invisibly going like this, like pushing.
Yeah. And I start
go,
going at. I walk out. I walk out. And I'm like, I don't know. The brakes are stuck. Can the brakes be stuck? I don't know what to do.
The second you get out of the car starts rolling. Because you left it in gear.
I left it in gear. I run back and I say, "Oh, the brakes are working," and I put it in park.
But the car that was following you drives by, and the driver is an older white gentleman who just kind of waves his hand. God be with you. And you can see that the truck itself on the side, you can see that there's a bunch of people in it, but it just says First Church of the Baptismal Waters, Norfolk, Virginia, Chapter House Kappa.
Okay, you're gonna give me that later. Yeah, you're gonna give me that later. I don't speak Armenian.
First Church of the Baptismal Water? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the First Church of the Baptismal Waters, Norfolk, Virginia, Chapter House Kappa.
Virginia, Alpha Kappa Psi.
Chapter House Kappa.
Chapter House Kappa. Wow. Fun.
Yeah, good times.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that the intended result? I don't think so.
I mean, we got a name. Get back, and I once they pass by, I like slump in the seat, Will, so like I can be seen from outside, and I like go back. I say to her, so I come out of it. I'm like,
Ash, are you hearing him garbled as well, or is it just me?
I am. I'm hearing you a little like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about now?
Say more than just 2 words.
How about now? Is it me? Can you hear me now?
No, same.
Yeah, no, you're still weird.
Yeah. This is what Jodie Foster felt like in Contact.
Sorry. Hold on.
Oh wait, now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have my phone on there.
Just kidding. No, we can't.
No. No.
I mean, I can do it like this, but I'm not on any mic.
I mean, you are. There's a. Oh, what happened there?
This is the speaker of the iPad. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do this then.
Yep.
Okay.
So I kind of crouch down so that you can't see me from the outside, and I come out of it because I go to her, get in the fucking van and follow them.
Okay.
The
brakes are unstuck.
The brakes are
that was the best. I have no brakes. Oh, they work now.
All right, and I go in and I put it back in gear.
Okay.
Go.
Let's have Connie make an intelligence and drive roll, please.
Connie thinking on her feet is my favorite thing of this game.
It is.
Whether it's on the telephone.
Telephone Connie is the best Connie, though.
Telephone Connie's the best Connie in the world.
When you leave her to her own devices, you get what you pay for.
Oh,
all right.
That's so good.
Right.
The brakes don't work. It's rolling down. Oh my god.
They work again. Hallelujah.
I got 2 8s, a 5, and a 4 on my hunger dice.
Okay. It is not that difficult to follow them. And after a few blocks, you notice that they pull up into your diner.
Oh, ew.
There's a couple other cars in the diner that you don't recognize, the diner parking lot. Among them is a turn-of-the-decade Cadillac, off-white.
Oh, they're looking for us.
I think I know what's about to happen. The next attack.
Okay.
Keep driving. Keep driving.
Oh, we're not gonna say hello. Right. Okay.
Keep driving.
Okay. No.
Here's my suggestion. I'm saying keep driving because we don't know what we're going to be dealing with. There could be Father Mayhew with the M16 full of light bullets, or it could be just a church group that wants some food.
That's true. Neither of those I want to be a part of. So,
And since they know our van because we've seen them follow us,
and they know our brakes don't work, we should probably.
Yeah, I'd prefer to maybe drive past it and then double back.
Yeah.
Drive around the corner.
We can come back a little. Yeah.
That's just my suggestion.
I just don't want them to see us when they have seen us, and they should remember who I am because I stepped out of the van.
Mm.
So, I'll drive past them, and then at the next available U-turn, I'll make a U-turn.
Okay. About a block and a half down, you make a sanctioned U-turn. What are you gonna do? Go into the parking lot or?
Not into the diner. Like
No.
walk to the diner.
No. I'm just making a U-turn so we can make it so I can go back in that direction. But then is the diner? The diner's like in the middle of a bunch of other places, right? Like it's not like in the middle of a field.
No, there's other businesses.
Okay, so we're gonna park at a business about a half a block or a block away.
Okay. Is there a convenience store where I can get bananas to put in their tailpipes?
Or some sugar?
You have to make another U-turn, but yes.
Oh, because I'm gonna pull an Axel Foley in these guys.
Nice.
No, I'm okay. So when you pull in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we definitely need to take this carefully, especially given what happened to the other places. This is not a good sign. That's the Cadillac that was following us.
Albert brandishes his gun.
I like where your head's at, Brandon. Albert, but let's do this smart first. I don't think they know we're here. I hope they don't know we're here.
All right. He sadly puts the gun away.
You can keep it out, just hide it.
I don't know if I can do that, Melvin.
I'm like, can you guys So Will, let me ask you, because his technology thing, he can use guns? He can use Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
That you know of.
Right. Okay. He's gonna be like I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna go invisible and walk and make my way over there. If you guys can be quiet about it, follow me. But I have
you're invisible and then we're visible. How about you go through the front and then we go through the back? We go in through the kitchen.
I'm gonna go towards the cars and I'm gonna wait and see if they're in the car still or what's going on.
Okay.
Make your Ross check.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I got 6, 7, 6.
Okay. I mean, it's just a one die.
Right. No, but I'm just keeping track of my rouses because it's coming.
It's coming.
My Hunger 3 is coming soon.
It's coming.
I can feel it. That's too much luck.
You duck behind some cars as Connie and Albert are kind of left to confer among themselves, which you have a track record of knowing that this is a bad idea. But you pull the shadows around you and you go across the street and down the block, and all the heads in the church van are still in the church van.
Okay. I'm gonna move close to the van, but not on the side where the door is, because I don't want it to suddenly open the door and come running out.
Yeah.
And they hit me.
Yeah. But you notice that the passenger door and the sliding door are both open. You can hear like humming, like spiritual singing coming from inside.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna go towards the door then. If the doors are open, I'm gonna move towards the back of the van, but on the side of the door with enough space that if somebody comes out, I can move back without getting hit. But I want to try to see if I can see inside the van. And I can't. I will, if it's dark, I will kick in.
Remember that the ground outside for the parking lot isn't paved road; it's gravel.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
although you do have your two obfuscate powers up, loose rocks do kind of look like they move wherever you step.
Okay. So then I'm gonna avoid going towards the open windows and stuff like that, so that I can get myself into a position so that I can see inside
Mm.
the van and I won't have to move or make too much movement because of the gravel.
Mhm.
And if it's dark, I'll activate Eyes of the Beast so that I can see through the darkness.
Not too dark. The lights from the diner bathe the car in enough light that you can see the faces of the people inside. Make a wits and awareness roll and see how much
All right.
detail you can get.
Okay. So I've got a 10 and a 2 on my hunger dice. Then I got a 10, a 7, and 2 4s on my regular dice. So
5 successes.
5 successes.
um, not gonna invoke the bestial crit because you're just trying to notice things, but you do.
That'll be so crazy. I kill an entire church group.
Mhm. As you look into the van, you can see that there's 5 total people. The nearest young girl suddenly riles up your beast as you see that she has a striking resemblance to your own daughter. But this one looks much younger, almost like you remember her looking when she was coming to high school.
Okay.
There's an older, kind of middle-aged man sitting in the driver's seat who looks like he was a hippie at some point and just never got the memo that they went out of style. The young girl sitting closest to you in the back seat, like I said, looks like your daughter. There's another, not youngish, but definitely like collegiate or just starting off in the professional world. There's another woman kind of sitting in the same seat with her. And then there's a young man, uh, kind of very muscular, very kind of athletic, sitting in the passenger seat. And all the way in the back is an older gentleman who looks like maybe he could be this girl's father. There's slight familiar resemblance, but uh, it's not pronounced.
And you said that they're doing like hymns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I make out what they're saying?
Right now they're singing "Wade in the Water."
Okay. Interesting. And is there anybody in the Cadillac that I can see from
No,
where I'm at?
no, the other cars
No.
are empty.
Okay. And I look in the diner from that area without moving.
Kind of. You can make out anybody sitting on the side of the diner where your booth is located, but there's nobody really on that side. Everybody's kept on the other side right now. There's a couple that you see that are about to leave, like they're just finishing up with Mrs. Hughes, and they're paying their tab.
Okay. I'm gonna stand there and see what these people do.
Okay,
I got patience.
sure. What is Connie and Albert going to do? Because they never got word that Melvin took off.
Should we try to go into the kitchen? Maybe? Because Albert's been gone a long time.
Melvin's been gone a long
Not
time.
Albert, Melvin. Melvin's been gone a long time.
Albert kind of looks at you. Funny, I have a confession to make. I don't know if our kitchen has entrance. I would assume so. On the television I've seen of your country.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm saying I've no one has ever asked if there's a back entrance.
To a building?
You just assumed it.
Well, I mean, it's fair to assume. I think most restaurants have a back door for like loading in
Yeah, you're
products.
right. You're right. I'm just being me.
I know.
He pulls out his gun again. Shout,
No.
No?
No, I don't think we'll need the gun out.
Okay. He
I
slowly
mean,
puts it away.
we're owners here, you know. We have the right to walk in through the back, right? You know,
You
like
sure?
hey, patron. No, patrons. We're employees.
Yes.
We could do that.
I trust your American knowledge.
Okay. All right.
This is like looking at a like a mirror of Brandon. Like Will's spot on with this.
Yeah.
It's episode 30. I think I have all of you beat it down.
Okay. Well,
Shall I talk to you about Atlantis while we walk over?
no.
Too spot on?
We should. Yeah. No. I think the quieter we could be, the better we can sneak. Maybe.
All right.
Okay.
I'll talk low about Atlantis then.
Okay.
Did you know that it's believed that to have concentric circles? Where...
Okay. I lock the doors of the van.
Okay.
With him inside and no air on.
You'll be fine.
I pull a hose from a local business and shove it into the tailpipe.
I can't wait till we get a Tesla and that we can just put, don't worry, he's safe inside.
Mm-hmm.
The air's on.
Oh, that's cute.
Like the doctor.
And he's listening to his favorite song.
It's probably
Okay,
Africa by Toto.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
But yeah, the two of you go across the street, walk around the rear of the businesses, and sure enough, the diner has two rear entrances.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. One that goes towards where the bathrooms are, and one that is for the kitchen staff.
Okay, we're gonna take the entrance for the kitchen staff.
Okay. You will see a kind of slim, tall black man with just this very thin, very short kind of little bubble of an afro on his head. But he has the kind of cook's hat. He's got the apron, and he kind of sees the two of you walk in. You who are the two of you? Are you allowed to be here?
Are you Billy?
He nods.
Hi, Billy. I'm Bobby. And
With
this
an
is
I.
Slim. Bobby with an I. And this is Slim.
Oh, I heard about you. It's nice to meet you. You see him kind of grab his cook's hat. He puts it down to his chest, almost like a very old-fashioned gesture that Connie kind of appreciates, I think.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. I'm sorry to bother you. We just didn't want to interrupt from front of house. Have you been getting how's the night going so far?
Good. I can't complain. You know, we got our regulars that came in, and we got a couple new faces. Gentlemen wanted simple toast and just a fried egg. So, yeah, I can't complain. Nobody's ordered anything wild.
Do you know who is serving for the for the newcomers? Do you know who on the staff is waiting on them?
I believe Miss Hughes is on staff tonight.
When Miss Hughes comes back
Hmm.
to place an order, would you tell her to run back over here so we can talk to her real quick?
Are you gonna be in the office, or are you gonna stay here in the kitchen? Because I move around a lot, ma'am, and I don't wanna hurt any of you.
We will be in the office.
I'll let her know then.
Okay. Thank you very much. And you're doing such a great job.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Kind of nods.
That's not the one we're firing, right?
I don't think so.
By the way, point of order, I found out Albert's favorite song.
Mhm.
It's a song that was released in 1968 called Atlantis by a Scottish singer-songwriter named Donovan, which the opening is a monologue about the city of Atlantis.
That has to be it.
And then the second half of the song is more energetic, with Donovan singing of finding his true love in Atlantis. Like, if this isn't his song, I don't know what.
Did he write this song? Is he Donovan?
He might be Donovan.
Oh my God, they should meet. I'm sure they would.
Is he still alive in 1984?
Yeah. Well, they used the song for the closing credits of Atlantis, the Disney movie, in 2001.
Oh, okay.
So the song went through up until then.
Oh, they made that Disney money.
Yeah, but is Donovan still alive in 1984?
Let's see. I'll tell you right now.
I mean, never meet your heroes, though. We learned that.
It just says born. It does not say dead.
Ooh.
Oh, so he's still kicking.
So he's still kicking. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nice. Now we know. Now we have to do. We got to find the Atlantis paperwork and find. Was Donovan in the United States?
He's Scottish. That's his hero.
Oh, he's Scottish.
That's his hero.
It.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it works because he was from England. So I mean, this was made for him.
That has to be the same person.
Yeah.
That's young Albert right there.
Probably.
That's why you don't see a death, because he just sort of vanished and turned into Albert.
He was born. He's 75 years old. He was born in 1946 in Glasgow.
Ooh.
Nice.
When was Brandon? Let me see. When was Brandon turned?
No, I think he was turned before me, wasn't he? Because I was in the 30s.
Yeah, 43.
Also, he was turned 3 years before the birth of this guy.
Oh.
All right.
So it's his song. That's it.
We could add something.
If you're watching, this is your Albert's favorite song.
He's not watching.
We need to find it. That should be his intro music every time he comes on.
Yeah, I don't think he's watching.
No. He's busy.
Yeah, he's doing things.
Yeah. I'll be in the office.
Okay, and Billy kind of nods. All right, ma'am. Sir, it's nice to meet all of you. You see, we get back to cleaning the thing.
All right. Okay, so off to the office we go.
Albert's like, Connie, he's a nice gentleman.
He seems really nice. I was he the one that we got all of that let me see.
You think
it depends on what time? It depends on what time it is, because the day shift kid is the one that we need to fire.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, but there's no. This isn't. Let's not do restaurant simulator. We'll restaurant simulator.
Yeah, no. I was trying to go through my notes to see. He's the only one that's not a ghoul. That's what I have in mind.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for Ashley and Albert to sit down and do the Office Space. So what is it you do here?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Albert just kind of like takes a chair on the outside of the office of the desk, and he's like, Connie, do you think he might believe in Atlantis?
You know, I'm sure that because we're his bosses, he will gladly listen to you spew off about Atlantis.
Oh, I've thought about it that way.
But we probably, so it's kind of hard to know if he likes Atlantis or not, because could he like it, or could he be humoring you because you're his boss?
You humoring me?
No. I would never. I would always. I'm only honest with you.
Okay.
I do think Atlantis is neat. That's for sure. Cool, you know, the underwater city just moves around. That's cool.
You imagine Connie, and you just see him go into like a 30-minute discussion about the possibility of what it would
I
mean
hope.
for a city to move. So while
I
you're
really hope.
Connie, send him out. Send him out to the people and have him talk about it.
No,
They may kill themselves.
that's true. Then it'll be over. They'll be like, "Nah, I'd rather die."
Hey guys, we took care of all these first light people. Like we just sent out our secret weapon to tell them about Atlantis for 40
Did
minutes.
you know?
so while you listen about the neat city that moves under the water for the next 30 minutes, we shift over to Melvin. You take a moment to kind of look down the street, and at this point, you have seen that Albert and Connie have already left the van. So
Mm-hmm.
you can only assume they already made their way into the back. But you see the kid in the front open the glove box, and he pulls out a picture of what looks like Albert, like a young Albert. And he just hands it around. Okay, remember who we're here for.
Fucking people. It's the mermen and women. It's the mermen and women from Atlantis.
Yeah, but you see the older gentleman in the driver's seat kind of turn around. Like, okay, so just like we learned, we gotta make sure that this man is treated like the precious cargo he is. Be kind to him. Don't startle him. Uh, this is the closest we've ever been. I think we need to take this as serious as possible. So in his name, let us pray. And you hear all of them kind of nod and hum, and then there's this quiet prayer. How religious was Melvin growing up, do you think?
But being from Chicago,
Mm,
cop, I think he was fairly religious growing up.
yeah.
You know, he was that typical like, you know, around all these Irish cops and all these like, you know, guys, like he was pretty religious
Okay.
up until what happened to him, because it was kind of, then he had a moment of like, where's God? Where was God when I needed him?
Yeah. Let's have you make an intelligence and occult roll.
So intelligence roll, God.
Okay.
I got a 6, a 5. Those are on the hunger die, and then I got a 10.
Okay, so 2 successes. It started off sounding like the Our Father prayer,
Okay.
but it is not the one that you remember. There's a lot of nuanced talk about birth and rebirth and the power of the ocean. And it's taken everything that's been like attributed to the sky and turned it towards the ocean. Everything that's attributed towards like protection has been twisted towards like a rebirth, and this whole idea of a river of life.
Okay. I'm still standing there.
Yeah. They'll go through their prayers, and once the old man finishes, there's a moment and they're like, in his name. And instead of saying amen, they say in his name.
I swear to God, if Albert is some kind of a deity, I quit. I'm staking myself and waiting for the sunrise.
But you see that they start handing out rope. One of them has like a fishing net. It looks like they're trying to capture him.
I'm letting this happen because this is going to be hysterical.
Okay.
I just want to see the old man in the sea throwing the fucking net over Albert.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh no. Holding his gun.
I'll shoot my way out of this net.
I'm shooting my way.
Yeah.
Todo lo juego. No,
Ah.
no.
I have an I don't worry, Ashley. I know what I know what I'm gonna do.
How are these? We'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah. But sure enough, a half hour passes and the diner empties. Even the older gentleman in the Cadillac drives off. Now the only ones out there are the van. And at this point, Valerie would have come back to the office right as I think Albert is in the middle of what is a very impassioned bit of dialogue about what he's read in reference to like Carthage and what Atlantis stands for, where I think Connie is seriously contemplating just like stabbing her own ear out. Valerie opens the door. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry for the introduction. The interruption. I didn't know you all were busy."
No, please stay. Thank you, Valerie, for coming. I'm sure Billy told you to step back in here. I just wanted to check and see if you. I saw there were some not so regular patrons in here today, and that you were serving them.
Had a good
Is
night
there
tonight.
anything? Was it a good night?
Yep.
That's good. Anything interesting or suspicious or any? Tell me a little bit about these patrons that you were serving today.
The only one that really stood out to me, as far as what Mr. Hyde has taught us to kind of keep an eye out, is there was an older gentleman, went by the name of Freddie. He seemed nice, a little too nice, and he was trying to chat me up, especially after I told him that I was divorced, and then he got to talking about something that just didn't sit right, as it kind of was information that only Mr. Hyde has shared with me. But that he mentioned being from Louisiana as well, and I never talk about Mr. Hyde's background or anything like that, so I don't know what he was trying to say with that. But after that, I kind of kept curt conversation, try not to give away too much, if anything at all. And I gave him his tab, and he took off not too long ago. Nobody really in here anymore. There's still the van full of people outside, but they're from church, so I'm not going to question them.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all. I just wanted to. I saw new people, and I wasn't. I'm glad that I'm sure they tipped you well.
The gentleman did, yeah. He left me a 20 for the tip.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Val.
Yeah.
You can go on ahead and finish your shift. Appreciate it.
All right. Once the door closed, Albert pulls out his gun. All right, Connie.
No. Keep the gun. No. Okay.
Should we go see what the van is all about?
Think we should. But I don't want to approach them directly because Melvin is there in hiding. So I think it's best if we find a safe place where we can watch from afar and see if Melvin gives us any cues or anything that he may need some assistance. Because I think if we come barreling in, we're just gonna expose him, and he'll be real mad at mostly you because you have the gun. So
I've got 2 ideas, and it all depends on what happens next. But I can't say it because I'm not with you.
Okay. Albert
I say
slowly pulls the gun away. All right.
what I say we do is maybe get the van and move it a little bit closer to the diner. So that way, if we need to get the hell out of here, we can jump in the van a little faster. We just need to find a place to put the van that isn't necessarily in the parking lot.
Should I drive it over here then?
No. I'm more than capable of driving the car. Can you drive? You can't answer a phone. Can you operate a vehicle?
You won't know until I try, Connie.
No, this isn't the time to learn. Okay, so. No, we're going to find out today. All right, so.
I don't even want to say my ideas because.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you. He's like, all right. You get the van then, Connie.
Are you going to come with me?
No, I have an idea. You see him leave the office.
Oh no! If he's playing him like Brandon, we're doomed.
Wait! So he's abandoning me?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, and I just say, okay, Albert, wait, no. Okay.
He's gone. Door closes.
I need to go get the van. So I'm just gonna. I'm gonna sneak out the same way I came in and see if I can go through the back areas again to get to the van.
Okay. As you're walking by the kitchen, you can see through the window that looks out into the diner itself that Albert is standing on top of one of the tables, pointing straight out at the van, and then pointing back at himself, just yelling, "Come and get me."
How did?
Oh.
We don't know that. Will knows his backstory and character. So this may be something that he's known all along, the motherfucker, and he hasn't said anything to us. Let him take him. Our lives will be better. I don't have to hear about it. Lannis. I don't have to...
But he could talk to the dead. That helps, right? Sometimes.
Sure.
Okay, no.
So I see him do that.
Yeah, you see him come out. He looks out at the van. I
silently go like this.
And then you see him just kind of as awkward as an older British person can. He climbs up onto one of the tables and just kind of gets full into a crab pose, like knees splayed out, hands out. And then he just starts banging on his chest like King Kong and yelling something at them.
Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But the younger one sitting in the passenger seat just kind of looks over. There he is, Father. Professor. This is our chance. There's nobody inside. There's no casualties. And the older man's like, I think you're right, Adam. I think it's time. Everybody gather your courage. And you see them all start to file out. And at this point, you see Albert kind of just nodding. And then he pulls his gun out. And one of the women is like, Father Newell, he's got a gun. That wasn't... You said he was docile. And the older gentleman, the driver, kind of looks at them and is like, it's just a starter pistol, folks. He's not going to do any real harm. He's he's a pushover. And they start to kind of go towards the door, the front door.
Okay. All of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Mhm.
Since they're trying to make a quick getaway, did they leave the keys in the van?
They did.
Cool. I steal the van.
We got 2 vans.
I get in the van. It was one of 2 things. Either
Yep.
I was going to steal the van or I was going to pull out my stake and pop their tires. So when they came out, they couldn't get anywhere.
Yep.
Oh, sweet Lord. Okay.
Yeah. This is what Albert brings to the group.
And what I'm actually debating about doing is pulling the van out. Like, since it's running, just pulling it out quiet, like putting it in gear quietly, rolling out into the street, and then putting it in neutral and pushing it down the street.
Whatever you want to do.
That way I can go back in there and give them pow-pows.
They are inside the diner. Did you go get the van, Connie, or did you have a change of heart after you saw what Albert did?
I think I'm in shock in the kitchen.
Okay.
But then but no, it only, if anything, it made me go, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, and then I start running around. I do end up leaving.
Yep.
And I end up going around the corner to see if I can see Melvin from like the corner of the building, but I can't see Melvin, so I just sort of freeze and wait for instruction.
Right. You see,
I should get the van.
You see their van just quietly come out onto the middle of the street.
Oh shit, he's in the van. Okay, and then that I take as a cue.
And before I push it, I look through the van to see if I see anything like of note in the van. I'm guessing they probably don't have a lot if the pictures were in the glove compartment.
Yeah.
But I just kind of look and see if there's anything worth it. I'll just throw it onto the street. I'll get that later.
Make a wits and investigation roll.
I'm Brandon tonight, bro.
I mean, Brandon's being Brandon tonight.
Well, that's true. So it's wits and investigation?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta roll 1 extra die. Okay, so right now, okay, I'll take that roll so far. I got a 6 on my wild die, a 4 on my wild die, then I got 2 7s, a 6, and a 5 and a 4. So I got 4 successes.
You open the glove compartment because that's where you've already seen that they've have something, and there is a file folder of just clippings. It is an in-depth kind of dossier on Albert Frost. And
okay, I'm taking that and I'm putting it in my trench coat. I'm not telling anybody about it.
But you do notice that there's a post-it note that just has the word vampire and a question mark on one of the pictures.
Yeah, I'm taking that file folder and I'm like, because I need to know what is going on here, and Albert may not be telling us everything. And Connie and I are going to have a nice little conversation.
Yeah, but you do also find underneath the passenger seat there is a small kind of little briefcase. It's almost like a handgun storage locker, like a little portable thing.
Yeah.
But there's a crest on it that's been kind of etched into it of what looks to be a pair of crows, one in front of the other with them looking in opposite directions. But around the crest of this double crow, it says the Masonic Order of the Cold Embrace.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Across the street from us,
yep,
from the diner,
yep,
because I know you said a lot of the neighborhood's kind of gone to use a word that you will laugh at, were they dilapidated?
It's aged, yeah.
Okay.
Weathered.
Yeah. So if I were to grab that briefcase and just throw it out the window that way for grabbing at a later time,
Mm-hmm.
is there like a house that somebody's living in there, or
No,
that I would
it's
have
a
to...
business that's probably closed for the evening.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that briefcase and toss it.
Okay. As it hits the ground outside, you can hear that it is made of plastic, and
Okay.
it just easily pops open, and you can see that there is the kind of soft, cushy material that you would imagine is in there. The hollowed out cavity for what looks like a 45 that's empty, and a hollowed out cavity for what looks to be the clip that is also empty.
Okay. So I'm gonna put the van in neutral and aim it down the street, and let it roll.
Okay, easy enough.
Now let me ask you: do I become uninvisible if I make a noise, or if something else that I interact with makes a noise?
It's if something that you are interacting with at the time makes enough of a noise.
So if I honk the horn, I would come out.
Yes.
Okay.
But like you tossing the case doesn't break because it's small enough and it's not a loud enough kind of noise to attract attention.
And it's like separated from me.
Yeah, and it's far
I'm
enough.
not physically touching it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it in neutral and let the car go.
Okay.
And if I have to give it a little push, I'll get behind it and I'll give it a little push.
Yeah, you do have to give it a push enough until it hits the decline. But once it does, it just starts to go. There's
I figured
not
we're in
gonna
a
be stopping
bad
it.
area of the city, so it's probably gonna hit an abandoned something or other.
No, it'll go past the curve at the bottom of the hill and probably go straight into the parking lot of the church. That's down the street.
But what are the... Okay, because I wouldn't do anything because of my humanity to like fully endanger people. So would I know that church is empty? I mean, I'm guessing it's the middle of the night.
The middle of the night, yeah. You probably think that the only one there is probably the priest who's in his rectory.
Okay. So here's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Because why not? Let's have some fun with this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, because I don't want to try to kill somebody.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull the van away from them, right? And then I'm gonna do another rouse check.
Oh, what are you doing?
Which I got a 10 on my rouse check to activate my level 3 potence of prowess.
Oh.
And I'm gonna rip the steering wheel off of the van.
All right, that will break your obfuscate, just so you're aware.
That's fine. Yeah, but I'm where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
They can't see me.
Okay. Touché.
So I want to rip the that off of the...
Okay, so you're gonna roll a strength and athletics, and add 3 dice for your potence.
All right, let's see how this goes. Not great. A lot of 4s and 3s. I got an 8 and on a hunger die and a 9, but the rest are 3s and 4s.
Okay. Remember that you can use a willpower point to reroll up to 3 non-hunger dice.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Because I've got 3 non-hunger dice that are all failed.
Yep.
All right, I got a 10, a 6, and a 5. So I got a 10 on a regular die, a 6 on a regular die, and then an 8 on the hunger die, and a 9 regular die.
4 successes. Easy enough. With the potence and the beast at your beck and call, you just pull this thing out. It is destructive. You just see this carnal just crater where the steering wheel should be, and there's just wires sticking out of there.
Perfect. I'm taking it with me.
Okay. Uh, what does Connie do once she sees the van kind of roll out into the middle of the street and then slowly start to turn to match the lane of traffic?
I take that as my cue to also get the van.
Okay. You hop across and pick up your van.
Yeah.
All right. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm just gonna pick up the van
Okay.
and head over to the diner. I mean, now I'm still gonna try to keep my distance because the last thing I want is for these people to be like, "Where's my van? Where's our van?" and then come into my van.
Well, as you turn in the direction of the diner, you can see your headlights pick up the silhouette of somebody coming out of their van, but they're holding the steering wheel of what you imagine is their van.
Okay. Okay. So I stick my head out of the window and I go, Melvin.
Here I go with the steering wheel.
Okay.
You hear 2 gunshots go off.
Oh shit.
I'll start running towards the diner, and I say, Albert.
Okay. I'll stay in the van with ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to do. What do I do? Do I go in there? I can't just leave the van. I grab it.
Take the keys out.
Okay, fine. Take the keys.
And I go like this. I go, take the keys out, and I show you.
I put it in park. And I grab it. I grab the keys. Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Will,
fine.
question.
Yep.
Does prowess stay active the entire scene?
That's a good question.
Because if it is, I'm about to channel my inner Olympian and throw a discus right into somebody's back of their head.
It does stay active for the scene, and anything that you do that would do melee damage, you get to add half your potence.
Okay.
Okay.
Rounded down, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Actually, no. I think it's round up.
Okay.
Okay. That's you. That's her. You both kind of look towards the 2 gunshots, and you can see that Albert is still, excuse me, standing on the table. He has hit one of the girls, and he has hit the older man that's not a hippie. But you also get to see them throw the net and start throwing the ropes all over him and kind of like bringing him down off of the table. And you see them kind of not really hitting him. They're trying to take the gun from him. It looks like they're trying to be really careful with him.
Oh, they're trying to be careful with him.
Mm-hmm. But you do see that they wrestled the gun away from him.
All right. I'm going to, since they haven't seen us, right? Because they're busy with him.
Yeah.
So the biggest one is the dude, right? I'm assuming the old man.
The biggest one, no. The biggest one is the jock.
All right. I'm gonna have to I don't know, kick him in the back or something. I need to do something there.
Okay. So wait. They're in the diner doing this?
Yep.
Okay. Can I'm only reason I'm asking this because I know this is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Since I am a police officer or was a police officer, can I kind of tell from their attire who may be carrying the gun? Like if there's a bulge or if there's
the gun from the case?
Yes.
Not from this distance.
Okay.
You'd have to be inside with them. Yeah, but what do you two want to do?
I'm rushing. I'm running, and I may actually jump through the window.
Okay.
I
Oh
may jump
damn.
in this shit.
Let's have you. Let's have you do a strength and athletics check again if you're gonna fall through the window.
And I add 2 dice from the potence, right?
Correct. No, you add all three of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you add 2 to melee damage.
Oh, okay. Strength, athletics. Okay.
Connie, you see Melvin just start to book towards the diner,
Oh, this isn't good.
and you see him just hit the top of the hitch where the wagon is. It kind of shakes under the strain of his potence infused abilities right now. And the moment he's about to jump towards this window, you hear a loud thunder crack. Melvin,
From the sky?
from above you and to the rear somewhere. Uh, Melvin, because you are a vampire, you take half damage. Uh, so you only take 4.
Okay. So let me give you before because I have to roll
Yeah.
stamina, right?
No. You take it.
Oh, okay.
There's no soaking in this system.
Oh, okay.
That's why you would have taken 8 points of damage, but because you're a vampire, half of that, and it's superficial because it's a regular bullet, so you take 4 points of superficial damage. A 30-06 just careened beneath your heart, like because you jumped towards the window, you know that this would have been a kill shot otherwise. But you just felt the impact in the back, and you see this orange or tangerine kind of sized hole in the front of your chest where it blew out. But you do go crashing through the window regardless. It's just not as elegant as you would have wanted. There is a roll as you come onto the table where Albert had just been standing the moment before.
Okay. Well, this may not be good
Mm.
because with the roll that I did, I got a critical
Messy critical?
on my hunger die. I got a 10 on my hunger die, a 6 on my hunger die, a 10 and a 6 on my regular die, and 2 3s.
Okay, yeah. So you go crashing through the window. The gunshot has altered your trajectory, but because of the beast just wanting to do the most amount of damage with this lunge, you still kind of go rolling forward and land on top of uh one of the gentlemen that's holding Albert down, the jock, uh, and without you even kind of noticing, you've already bitten into his neck. But you're not drinking, you're tearing. And everybody else starts to scream.
Okay. So I see this, right?
Yep.
And I say, oh, fuck. Okay. I'm going to go through the door.
Okay.
All right. And who does he have?
Well, as use my willpower with this guy. As you start making your way towards the door, you hear a second thunder crack, and as you kind of turn in the direction of it, you see the last vestiges of the muzzle flash from what looks to be a sniper's position, a block down from the top of one of the buildings. And you feel the impact of this bullet come crashing through your chest, right in the middle of your sternum.
Excuse me?
Because you are a vampire, you only take 3 points of superficial damage. Otherwise, you would have taken 7.
So, and Will,
Yeah.
if it's superficial damage, is that if once you go through your health, you're down, even if it's superficial?
You're unconscious if it's superficial.
Okay. So I knock out 3
Yeah, you would put
health
the first slash.
for 3 slots?
3 slots.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
I mean, you have 8.
I was feeling mighty fine that way.
Yeah, you
What's
were.
8? Well, that's nice to have 8 health.
She has fortitude.
Yeah.
Fortitude.
I know. Let me drink you.
Well, you're busy right
I
now.
got shot. This is the second time I got shot in the fucking back for Albert.
It's true.
Who told you to jump through the window?
If I didn't jump through the window, I would have
No,
taken more damage.
It's true. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Maybe
Yeah.
I should have jumped through the
But I
window.
succeeded way too well on jumping through the window because now I'm murdering an Atlantean.
Oh my god. But yeah, the 3 of you are now in the diner. Albert is on the floor. He had the athletic built guy kind of on top of him. He also had the younger girl on top of him. The driver was holding the gun that Albert was holding to Albert's head. The other 2 were kind of by the door, but one of them you see is bleeding from the shoulder. The other one is bleeding from his thigh. Although Albert did hit, he didn't hit to kill. You can just see one of them kind of look over at you. They see the small crater of a 30-06 in your sternum, and they also start to scream.
They haven't begun to scream.
Yeah, but we have a sniper, so we need to
Yeah, we need to take care of this fast.
Well,
so
I need to save my soul right now because I'm in a frenzy right now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you do what you need to do.
Yep.
But I have to take care of at least the guy who's holding the gun.
Sure. What do you want to do?
I was gonna do something, but I know Will, and if I do it, I'm gonna suffer from it. Because I was gonna send Betty D to dive at him with her fucking potent field rage and just
Yeah. That's
the
an
guy
option.
holding the gun. But I know that sniper is gonna be like feral ferret dead. Because I know Will Cabrera. Will's been my DM since I was 15
You know how
years old.
difficult it would be to hit a fucking feral ferret?
That Scion game, what was that? That Scion crystal that fell on me and killed me?
That was Alex's fault.
Yeah.
Well, after I get shot, my instinct is going to be to drop to the ground.
Okay.
And I'm going to hurriedly crouch behind underneath the nearest table to where all of this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then in hopes that I could get under the table where all of this chaos is going on, and I'm going to release my fangs and I'm going to grab the ankle of the guy holding the gun. No, I'm not.
Okay. The woman you kind of crawl by, she just kind of in between screams. She's like, "How are you moving? You just took a shot to the chest."
You're asking too many questions.
I'm gonna have to. God damn it! I'm gonna have to send out Betty D. We can't let any of these people live.
I know, but I also don't want him to pull the trigger on the gun because I shock him with a bite.
Okay, Will.
Yeah.
Where am I in position to the guy holding the gun on Albert?
You're right next to him because you just killed his little protege.
Okay, Betty D jumps at him.
Okay.
Like unwraps like out of nowhere.
Okay. Well, if that's gonna happen, then I'm gonna grab his uh I'm gonna try to get as close to where I think the femoral artery is, and that's where I'm gonna bite.
Okay. Are you biting to just do damage, or are you biting to drink?
I'm biting to do damage.
Okay.
Though I probably should drink a little. But no, I'm
Uh,
just gonna bite to do
Alright.
damage for right
Let's
now.
have you do a strength and brawl then.
What is my strength too?
Betty D
Uh
lunges at the guy as you hear a hissing noise, and you see Connie just kind of reach over and bite into his leg as well.
I
I
just
rolled.
love the fact
Okay.
that Betty D saved him, so now he can't hate her.
I don't think he hates her.
I
No,
thought he
it's
did
Betty
because
D that doesn't like him.
Yeah,
I thought he hated her because she messed up all his paperwork when we were first at the apartment of death.
maybe.
He tried to be nice to Betty D, and Betty D was like, "Fuck off," and then
Bro, and Betty D's got a potence of 3 now, right? Is she
No,
has the
no.
same as me?
She has a bonus of 1. They can only ever
Oh,
have
okay.
the 1 dot power.
Okay. Because that would be stupid.
Yeah. But still, her damage is aggravated to him. Well, what did you get, Ash?
I got a 10, a 7 on my hunger dice, and a 2.
Okay, so 3 successes.
Mhm.
Uh so yeah, between you and Betty D, the guy just kind of yells in surprise. He tries to bat Betty D away from his face, and then as he brings the gun down on Albert to shoot, there's a moment where you just see his hand loosen, the gun drops, and he also kind of falls over.
All right. Then I'm gonna reach for the gun if it's near me.
Sure. The young girl that reminds you of your daughter, Melvin, screams in horror, and you see the other two start to kind of scramble towards the door.
Well,
Okay.
I can't do anything at this point, right? Because I'm in a frenzy.
Yeah, you can.
So
Your
I'm gonna
beast
ignore
wants
her.
to go after your daughter.
Oh,
But what do you want to do?
no, the beast wants to do that. I don't.
Okay.
I want to go for the people running out the door.
Okay. Let's have you do a current willpower roll, so it'll be only 3 dice,
Uh-huh.
not 5, as your max is.
I got 2 3s and a 9.
Okay. Uh, you turn towards the source of the scream. There's this kind of sensation of just wanting to shut it as quickly as possible. The inner kind of logical part of your brain is like, those two need to die, otherwise it's a masquerade breach. Uh, and then your head is forced kind of back towards this unending source of noise. But again, your instinct is to go after her.
So, I mean, I can't control it at that point, right? Because I failed my willpower. So
You would have to take a point of superficial willpower damage to avoid what the beast wants.
bro, and then I'd have 2. I have no willpower.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. So how do you want to shut off the noise that's being made by this young girl?
Can't I'm not feral, right?
You are not.
Like
Excuse me.
I'm not in a feral state.
No. You're
Okay, so
just.
I'm gonna walk
The
up.
beast is really strong right now.
So I'm just gonna go up to her and Okay, question. How can I turn her?
Like
And
embrace her?
or ghoul her?
Ghoul her. You would have to give her some of your blood. So you'd have to take a level of hunger and feed it to her.
I'm trying to avoid killing her, per se.
Sure. You already killed one guy today.
Trying to save my humanity somewhat.
Sure.
Um, I'm gonna try to feed my blood to her.
Okay. Make a strength and athletics or strength and brawl. Your choice. Try and force yourself onto her.
Okay, so strength and brawl would be that, and then I roll the potent die, so I have to roll one extra die because I'm short one. 8, 9. Okay, so I got a 9 and a 1 on my hunger die. I got an 8, a 6, and a 10 on my regular dice.
Okay. So you find it so that when she's screaming, that she is not able to focus her attention on what's happening, and before she knows it, you are on top of her. There's a moment where, so thank you for coming back just at the right moment.
Sorry. What did I
No,
miss? I'm sorry.
no, you're this is going to be really important because
Oh.
this is very traumatizing for Connie, I think. But you see, there's a young woman who is helping to hold down Albert's legs, and she just starts to scream as you and Betty D killed the troop leader, and you see Albert Melvin kind of look in the direction of the people that are trying to crawl out of the diner, and there's a moment where you see him kind of lean to go in that direction, and then the screaming kind of intensifies, and his head snaps back towards this woman, towards this young girl, who's kind of like just a little bit younger than you are. And you see him just crawl on top of her, almost like that incident in the bathroom with you. And you see him just kind of pull himself onto her chest. He bites down onto his wrist and starts to force his blood into her mouth. You just hear her gurgling, just kind of like fighting, like she's expecting something completely different in her mind, something that you experienced yourself at one point. But you can also feel that this is not the Melvin you know. But there's two dead bodies in front of you. There's two that are making their way towards the door. What do you want to do?
Uh, I I go for for those that are heading toward the door. I have the gun, right?
Yep, you have Albert's gun.
Okay. I'm gonna try to aim for the back of the legs of one of them, of whomever. Just papa.
Okay.
But I'm gonna stay low because I know there's a sniper out there, so I'm gonna try to do it from. That's why I'm trying to hit them on the knees.
Okay. Go ahead and make either a dexterity and firearms roll or a resolve and firearms roll. Oh, not sorry, resolve, not composure and firearms. Sorry.
Okay. Composure. Uh, 7, 6, 5, and a 1 on the hunger dice.
Okay. You pop off a shot Which one were you trying to aim for first, the man or the woman?
The man.
Okay. You pop him right at the base of the spine, and you see him groan in pain. He just kind of reaches back, and then he just collapses. And you no longer see him breathing.
And all that's left is the woman.
Yeah. And that you see Albert kind of crawl, still on the net, kind of pull himself away from Melvin, who's on top of him. And he just kind of crying tears of blood. You just hear him mumbling to himself, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this." And you see him just kind of crawl on top of her, and he also brings his fangs down on the base of her shoulder where her neck and shoulder meet. She screams for a moment, and then there's just that kind of sigh of excitement that comes from the kiss. And you see him just kind of sitting there, and you can hear the heavy gulps until finally she also stops fighting, stops resisting. She just kind of slumps down. The young girl with Melvin on top of her has a moment where you can hear the kind of gurgled, forced swallowing that happens. Melvin is now at hunger 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you now have a human who is slightly more inclined to do what you want them. And you see that she stops screaming, and she kind of just looks out at the 3 of you. Albert's mouth is just full of blood down to his chin, dripping down onto his suit. Connie's mouth has some blood around it, almost like a Ronald McDonald smile. But all of you are still alive. And she just kind of looks out and she's just like, What am I? What is this? You just wanted him. And she points at Albert.
You were alive. That's the important thing. But there's other ways of asking somebody for assistance if that's what you were looking for from Albert. He is our friend. We couldn't let somebody who was coming after him the way that you guys were just kidnap him.
We weren't gonna hurt him. We just needed him to translate some things. So close. We were so close.
Close
But the best way to do that was to capture him in a net with a gun in a group
That's what we were told
in public.
We were told to separate him, take him.
By whom?
Not allowed to say his name.
I look at her and I go, "It's okay, child. Tell me."
Ooh. And of course, I don't roll anything higher than a 5 with a willpower roll.
Ultimately, this is why I Googled her, because I was like, maybe she can give us some info.
Right?
I wanted to keep one of them alive.
It's smart. Makes sense.
Fucked up.
His name is Ibn Abbasi. Bahadur Ibn Abbasi.
Ibn Abbasi?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said Abdur?
Bahadur.
Bahadur?
Bahadur Ibn Abbasi.
Who is he?
He's the prophet. He's the one that's going to lead us to Atlantis. But he's only one man, and Professor Frost here, he's the key to unraveling the last of it.
Don't you think that was a better way of asking than what you did? And I look around. And I kind of wipe my mouth. And I have to lick the wound, right? Close?
Yeah. That we were told that Professor Frost would not come quietly. And you hear him. That's correct. I would not have come quietly. I have a gun now.
And I look at him with the most anger that Connie and him have ever seen me, and I go, we'll fucking get to you in a minute.
He nods. He just kind of like leans over to Connie and quietly is like, "Do I have my gun back?"
No.
That's fair.
I look back down to her and I say, what's your name?
Bianca Mason. I think that was my uncle that you killed. Kind of points at the man that Connie shot in the back.
I wasn't trying to kill him. I'm sorry.
And you see the situation finally hit her. She starts to cry.
Listen, what's happened to you is going to be scary. This is not what we had planned when we came in here. You're going to feel a lot of feelings and you're entitled to them. And when you're ready, I want you to come talk to me. We're going to take care of you, but there's a lot we're going to have to go through very soon on what the next steps of your life are going to be.
You're part of something bigger now. Even bigger than what you thought you were a part of before. If you thought that was the biggest thing, it's not.
How old are you?
I am 19 in December.
And I ask her, like, for a moment, I guess at this point, like, the beast is like subsided because of what I did.
Oh yeah.
So I look at her and I go, are you hurt? And I kind of start like checking.
She pulls herself away. She's like, no, I'm fine.
It's very important that you don't tell anybody what you saw here.
She nods.
You're not going to die today. And if I can help it, you're not going to die anytime soon.
There's a shift in weight from the countertop, and you just hear, "Shall I call the police or should I call the cleaners that Mr. Hyde has on reserve?"
I think the cleaners are probably going to be a better idea. They also may need a tow truck, and I like look at the Oh, she can't see me, right? I just hear her.
Oh, you're visible.
Okay, and I point, I like nod my head to the steering wheel.
She nods. Excuse me.
And if,
Which one of you has the money to pay them then?
Me?
what are we talking about cost wise?
Mr. Hyde and the cleaning service have a negotiation. I don't know if they're going to honor it, but it usually ran around $5,000 per cleanup.
Oh no, I don't have that money.
I like how you were like, "I got it. Oh, it's $5,000. No, I don't got it."
No, I got that. Well,
Shall I also call Mr. Hyde then?
I think that's best.
Well, all right then.
And
So-
I go out. So I pop my head up like carefully
Mhm.
to kind of see in the direction of where the sniper bullet came from.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I do kind of like a,
Remember, you don't have a hat.
oh, that's right. I gave my hat to Teddy. I have to go
Yeah.
back to my haven and get
Yeah.
another hat.
You kind of peek up and look out the window, and at this point, you can see a couple of buildings where you would have a great sniper vantage point towards the diner, but you also don't see any movement.
Okay. I'll stand up then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna grab the bodies that are in the street or outside.
No, none of them made it outside.
Oh, they're gonna make it outside. Okay. I'm gonna put flip the sign to closed,
Smart.
and I'm gonna turn the lights off
Yep.
because I don't want anybody to just casually walk by and see a broken glass and a bunch of dead bodies on the floor.
Yep.
And I'm gonna start, I guess, putting the bodies together
Mhm.
and covering them up.
Yep.
Just
You hear from the kitchen. Well, I guess this is an early night for me. And you see him pull the little chef's hat down from his head onto his chest. He's like, "Good night, y'all. I think this was quite a night." You see him slowly make his way towards the exit.
all right, bye, Billy.
um
We got to clean this up.
I'm making my way out. I make my way outside,
Mhm.
and I go over to where I threw the briefcase.
Okay.
And I grab the briefcase.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, I grab it and I bring it inside.
All right. So as you are sitting with a mountain of bodies, it's a molehill of bodies rather. This empty briefcase with this fraternal order, this Masonic order's symbol on it. You have a new ghoul that you need to indoctrinate. And you are a favor in the hole towards Thomas Reginald Hyde. I think before we close out for the evening, let's have Melvin do the first roll of this type because we haven't had the need for it yet. At least not on stream.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it's called the remorse roll. It's when you take stains to your humanity because of the events that you've done to kind of go against the touchstones that you've created for your character or the kind of rules that your character lives in. I think Melvin earned 2 tonight. 1
Okay.
by killing the young boy, and one more by creating this school. And so with stains, they start at the end of the track and work their way towards your actual humanity. It would look like that.
Okay.
When you make a remorse roll, you grab a number of dice equal to the difference from where your humanity ends to where your stains begin. Because you have no difference whatsoever, you still get one die to roll. You always get at least one dice to roll. So let's see what you get.
A 5.
Okay. So, by not succeeding in the remorse roll, I believe. Let's grab this page here. If the remorse roll results in no successes, the beast has won. The character must lose 1 point of humanity, then remove all the stains. So, with everything that's happened tonight, as you sit here looking at this young girl that reminds you of your own daughter that you have now forced into this unlife along with you, maybe not as a vampire, but definitely as a member of the inner circle, there's a moment where you just can't believe the monster you've become. And as hard as you have fought to be as human as you can, you just hear the beast just softly and as much of a growl as possible, just kind of laughing. Kind of like the Muttley laugh from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but just more nefarious, more malicious, and very, very heavier. But this is definitely where we'll end tonight's episode. And normally I would cut away to a screen of just myself kind of telling people where to find us moving forward. I'm still going to do that. But because all three of us have Cuban heritage and because of the events in Cuba that are heartbreaking, to say the least, I think it behooves us to take a moment before we get into the whole spiel of mental health and whatnot to kind of address the events in Cuba. And if you're watching, please go follow the hashtag SOS Cuba so you can find out how you can help. If you can help, I'm not asking you to kind of come out of your way to help, but if you can, I strongly urge you. I know that my father comes from Camagüey, and I have pictures of me as a 1-year-old on El Manicomio, which is that famous Cuban seawall. I've never seen Cuba. It is one of the great kind of sadness that I've had to live with, in that because of the totalitarian kind of communist regime that has existed there, I've never been comfortable ever wanting to see where my father grew up, like what the land that he called it home. It's made appearances in some of my poetry, but it is like Avalon to me and the Arthurian legend. Like, it is a myth. But having seen the videos and kind of trying to process all the damage that's being done over there to their own people by their own people, it has definitely become a real place, and it is a tragic and sad place. And if either of you have anything to add, please do.
Both of my parents were born in Cuba. They both fled, or my grandparents on both sides fled between 1961 and 1968. So, what people are seeing right now is really the culmination of 62 years of oppression. And what's important to remember is that, it's terrifying and horrific, but the truth is that the Cuban people are rising against a dictatorship that is literally the only thing they've ever known. So what they are able to do right now, as terrifying as it is giving them like glimpses of hope. And that was only made possible because they had access to social media. So if people around you are saying this is an issue with the US embargo and whatever, no. They were already effed well before and well during. The embargo has very little to do with this. This is really this is a humanitarian issue. And if you have any questions on it and you need to see it for yourself, follow the hashtag SOSCuba or hashtag Patria y Vida. Today is a very special day in Cuban history. It is the day of the revolution. This is the day 62 years ago that Castro overthrew the Batista government. So it's a bittersweet day today, but the people of Cuba have decided to try to turn this day into something else for their own revolution. And there's not a lot we can do. That's the sad part, except for, broadcasting what's going on. Don't, follow the right resources, post about what's going on. Make sure that you're posting correct information because there's a lot of propaganda out there too. And there's a lot of great resources out there. When it comes to recargas, which are recharges, people are recharging people's data plans down there so that they can continue to broadcast what's going on. But yeah, if you have questions, ask.
Yeah.
Don't, it's easy to listen to a lot of historical babble from somebody who reads it from books, but a lot of us have our history was told to us, by in as bedtime stories and as
First-hand
stories.
accounts.
These were firsthand accounts, I know people who sent their children on planes into the US and, during Pedro Pan, people who came on boats, people who came, my family came on a plane. They had to pretend that they were flying to Honduras on vacation. And they left behind all their shit so that, the Cuban government wouldn't, try to kill them on the way out. So listen to us, listen to some of our stories and blend that in with some of the other accounts of the people who are living it out there and ask questions. Okay. Just ask questions and listen before you start signing petitions for things. Listen to, keep in mind it's scary. And yes, they're doing terrible things and people are dying. I'm sorry that I'm rambling. But we also have to keep them encouraged to continue to fight. Because we cannot, as a nation, just go in there with guns blazing into a sovereign country. We can't. We can't do that either. So it's a very critical, weird moment in history that we're all living in. And many of us still have family over there. So it's even worse.
Yeah, you said a lot of what I was going to say, so I'm not going to reiterate a lot of it. But I was born and raised in the United States, but both of my parents were born in Cuba. My dad was, I think, 15 when he left. My mom was a little younger. She was 3 when she left. But my grandparents fled. They, the first opportunity they had to get out, they got out. There's a reason for that. It hurts and it angers me a lot when I see people that I genuinely know are good people posting things, siding with the communism and the idea of communism and the idea of Castro being a hero and Che Guevara being a hero and all these things that they really don't know. I've heard the stories from my grandparents. Like Ashley, I have family that's still over there. My parents today just had to, through third parties, figure out a way to send money over there because my family members, their reserves and their pantries are out of food. And like Ashley said, the embargo is not an excuse. The embargo, for those that may not have done research, it's been since 2000. They've allowed food and humanitarian goods to go into Cuba, and even before then, there was a time where they did it. They did stop for a while. You are right if that's an argument that's going to be made, but since the year 2000, they've allowed food and humanitarian goods to come from the United States into Cuba. It's not that. The embargo is not what's assassinating people for speaking against the government, because my family knows people that they know friends of theirs that died because they were pulled out of their homes because they said something to somebody who sided with the government and spilled the beans on them. Mm-hmm. Imagine if that happened here. If you told your neighbor, hey, I don't like so-and-so, and the government sent people to your house, kidnapped you and killed you, or locked you up in a prison that you'd prefer to be dead than be in that prison. Because that's what's happening in Cuba. That's why the people are revolting. That's why the people are going against the government. Because it's not a good government. Okay? And it's so it frustrates me seeing that. And I didn't know I was going to get this platform, but it's something that has irked me really bad seeing that, especially on social media, a lot from folks. These people are dying. They don't have weapons. And they're still risking their lives going into the streets, trying to just get some kind of freedom from this, because their lives aren't. There's a reason people build boats out of pickup trucks, because my people are resourceful people. Cubans are resourceful as hell. They built they take the trip with barely any food and water, with 30 to 50 people on a boat that they made out of scraps to come to the United States.
And without any guarantee they'll make it here.
Exactly.
Without any guarantee that they'll actually make it here. And then when they get here, hoping that they don't get picked up by the Coast Guard and hoping that they can claim asylum. Because we're not in a wet foot, dry foot policy anymore.
Right. So, like Ashley said, be careful about what you post and do the research. Just because you see it from a group that you may be following or from an entity that you support, it's okay if you agree with some of their beliefs, but read up on it.
Do the research.
Because what you're going to see on media is not always going to be what the truth is. If you're hearing this, you've got 3 people here that will be happy to talk to you and tell you about what the real freaking situation is.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to there's people that you can talk to. There's people that, if they may not have been born on that island, but that their heart is on that island. So just, follow, like we said, hashtag SOS Cuba, or, Patria y Vida, to all the people that marched today in Washington, D.C. My hearts are with you. My heart is with you. And I wish I could be there. I couldn't be there, but just educate yourself. And if reach out, if you want help, reach out to those organizations that are working on that, because
like Cuba Libre, there's so many good ones.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And they're doing food. They're giving out food. One of the most beautiful things, and I'll finish now. Well, I'm sorry, I'm rambling also,
okay.
But
all right.
One of the most beautiful things that I saw, and it's giving me goosebumps right now, is the people here care so much for the people that are over there, what's going on. Not only were they trying to figure out ways to run guns over to them and risk breaking international law, but they did something really beautiful, that a fleet of boats, privately owned boats, went to the edge of international waters and they started shooting fireworks into the sky so that the people on the island could see that we were with them. Because guess what? They don't know anything, because that's another thing. The government controls all of their internet, their media, everything. So they see what the government wants them to see. So again, please educate yourselves. You have people that you can talk to that will be happy to tell you what's really going on.
Yep. Yep. Ashley is one of the best educated people that I know, so I always will defer to her more than anything, because she reads good.
That's very generous of you to say, but
She don't read books.
I'm just friends with very smart people, like those here.
So,
That's what.
but I know that topics like this can be heart wrenching and dark, and they can weigh heavily on you. And as always, we end the streams talking about mental health and how you can get help, because it shouldn't be a topic that's tabooed or stigmatized. And as always, if you're in chat right now, I've put up numbers if you're in the United States where you can kind of get help. If you're outside the United States, I'm also putting up a link where you can follow it and see where you can find help in your own region. Because I know it's been a rough year and a half. I know that every time that we think that we're out of it, something happens, and we just kind of prolong this weight that we have to kind of keep dragging. So I know that mental health is a big thing, and I will always fight for everyone getting the help that they deserve and that they need. And as always, if you are a friend or family member of a strong or happy-go-lucky person, please check in on them, check in on each other, because you never know how a simple hello or how are you can change the trajectory of somebody's life. And as always, if you want to see more of me or even Jeff, on Friday you can catch us for our Star Wars Out in the Dark campaign. If you want to see me be a player and attempt to play a werewolf, I am doing that tomorrow, Tuesday nights on McStabber Studios, so you can come check that out. You can check out the VODs of the Mage game that I ran for them, because that was also a lot of fun, because that was set in 1984 Miami. But as always, please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, check in on each other, check in on family, friends, everybody. Everybody needs a little checking in on from time to time. And because all three of us are on screen, we will see you when we see you. Take care of each other. Have a good night.